The pullback we were expecting has happened, and confirmations of a newly found support have begun. For this particular ticker, we have the advantage of another notable influencer performing his DD, and it seems as though the targets presented by him are in line with ours. Welcome back to the channel on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol PCSA. Let's kill him, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and pull up ticker symbol PCSA right in the bi-hourly chart here, team. So I want to just go ahead and smack this right out of the way real quick, real fast, nice, short, and sweet, right? So let's go ahead and present ourselves with this very notable trader, right? We all know him. We all love him, right? His name is Avid Trader. Please go ahead and give him a follow, as he is also checking this ticker out. And to my surprise, his targets are meeting directly with ours, right? So I'm talking about an overall upside of, I mean, we talked about this a few times already, right? Of course, we have our upper bound target, our lower bound targets right now, and we're still observing the potential upside, but I will have to say that it feels primed, it feels ready to go. But Avid Trader is actually speaking of a target of around 1 to 150, and it's very interesting because our target is leading up to a focus of 161. So if we're getting several different strategies coming up to that above $1.50 or $1.50 level, we can only speculate here that may actually be a potential, right? So in my case, right, we have a focus between the 3-spot 272 at 147 and the 3-spot 618 at 178 with a focus of 161. And that 161 is actually a target that is psychological, right? So we're going to go ahead and pull that up via this channel here. So it looks like on a macro scale, we have been riding this descending channel, right? So taking a trend line from the top side of the channel to all the way to the bottom side of the channel, right? And you apply it to the supposed area of breakout, we are presented with a potential top side of around 161, right? So that is presently what I'm observing here in as a macro target, right? So now if we bring things down, to maybe a shorter time frame, right? Because we're trading this on a bi-hourly here. At least I see the bi-hourly to be one of the bi-hourly and the 4-hour actually to be a critical time frame that we can use for potential breakout prep, right? So we spoke about the top side potentially reaching at or around the 48.75 to 49.80. Price action actually came to 47.55, just slightly short of our take profit, right? So, but we did say that the pullback would be likely here, and the pullback, why? Well, if you take a look at here, this is actually an ascending triangle. This is a bullish formation, and it is creating a series of higher highs, and with the exception of this here, of course, we're now creating a series of higher lows. And that is presenting the potential for a breakout, right? So first target to observe would be the center of the triangle, right? So this trend line here is taken from the center of the triangle down to the bottom of it. You apply it to that supposed area of breakout, which is fine because it's still horizontal, right? That is giving you the target that we just mentioned, 48.75 to 49.80, right? So that's coming up to the 1-spot 272 at 48.78. So it's pretty damn close to that. Now, the next target would be the backside of the triangle, right down here. So you take that measurement right from the very top side to the bottom side of the triangle, you apply it again to that same breakout point, and the target that we're getting here is very, very, very confluent to the 1-spot 618 at 59.02. In fact, we have a range between 59.06 and 61.23, given that we take into account historical supports and resistances, right? So that is presently what I'm looking at here. The pullback that happened was the validation of support. We are now getting, let's see, we're now getting 1, 2, and 3 consecutive bi-hourly candles closing upside of the bottom range of this support here, which now makes me feel that the asset either comes right back down to do that one more test before the glory shot here, right? But it appears as though the asset feels ready for a continuation to the upside. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can get some bias here. But before we do that, let me go ahead and show you something else, right? I know that I know that I'm not the biggest fan of of this formation here, but it's a popular formation. We have to give it its credit, right? It is in the process of building what we can consider to be bullish buy formation breakout, right? So of course that is not something that is known in the trade. It is a strategy that I've built, or at least I haven't heard anyone else say it. But this is the collection of two bullish formations running in tandem to each other and backing each other for a potential upside, right? So if this is the case, then we are looking at the left hand shoulder here, the head, and the right hand shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders candle formation, and the upside from this can be looked at via this neckline right over here, right? So, and I think that this would take, let's go ahead and take the center of the right at the center of the neckline, right, all the way down to the head. This is how we get our psychological price objective, right? So this is going to give us a slightly different target, slightly higher than the one they're already looking for, but that's good because we'll be able to now look at what our further resistances may be, at least in a psychological perspective. It's giving us 73.23, and let's just go ahead and take a look at this. Yeah, it's very much in line with the 2 fib, and just under the 2 spot 272 at 84.62. Let's let me see if I can focus this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and put it down just like this. 73.23. Where it is? Where is it? Okay, that's fine. It should be fine right there. And we'll align it here with the 75.17 resistance level of this range, right? So, in fact, it does connect pretty well to other ranges as well, and pretty nice support down there. A huge amount of support right here. So, yeah, I'm thinking that these could be the upper bound targets. The lower bound targets before we actually make that macro move to the upside. But yes, I think to our discretion from here, right? I think we're pretty set to go for a pretty nice move to the upside here, team. So these are, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just kind of note them down here. But these are the targets that I'm looking for fulfilling, right? Of course, it's going to be kind of a zigzag around. We have to do that, right? Price action will never continue to the upside in a perfect manner, right? So let's take into consideration what this top side was. So 49.80, right? Let's tag them up. So let's put it right down here like this. We have 61.23 right up here. 61.21 is fine. And we have 73.23 at this point here. So 73.20, oh my goodness, 73.18 will do it. All right, so this is what I'm looking for so far, right? So I do think that there is a pretty good probability of getting up to these targets. And I felt that it was pretty important for us to consider making a bid on this, right? Since we do have two very popular bullish candle formations and within each other too, so which is pretty damn good for the asset, right? So now let's take a look at momentum here and observe. So let's go down to the 30-minute time frame, immediate short term, and see what's going on there, right? So we're at critical contraction of volatility. This definitely can start expanding, and it's mathematically set to do that, right? So it is programmed. In physics, actually, it's just what goes up comes down, right? So we're looking at contraction here on volatility, getting ready for an expansion move, already getting the curvature of it. Stochastic momentum on the 30-minute time frame seems to be already corrective as well, and the bias is actually for an upside signal now. 30-minute time frame RSI getting a bullish crossover upside of the SMA 14 and looking good. Let's go to the bi-hourly time frame and see what we have. Bi-hourly time frame seems to be a bit it's still kind of signaling a downside, but the way we can get a little bit of an earlier bias from the stochastic momentum indicator, well, let's go ahead and switch over the D% and to a 1-day look back and a smoothing factor of 1, right? So this, there we go. So okay, definitely starting to get a bias for a correction here. So we shall see how that continues. And you can see here in the volatility component, the spectrum line, right? We're already getting a kink to the upside, showing a potential upside since the RSI is also curving itself, right? So we have to be really careful here because there may be an opportunity to get long this asset, although I really can't see it. Oh, actually, here in the 5-minute time frame, immediate short term could be indicating a potential pullback here. And I would say that the pullback is very limited, and I would give it these targets right down here, right? So it would be 38.05 to 38.29 for a potential loading zone before a continuation to the upside, right? And the reason I say that is because the 15-minute time frame, right, already has this upside pivot, very convincing upside on the stochastics. And let's see, volatility. Yeah, volatility is critically contracted. I can't really tell if we're curving to the upside now, expanding. But one thing that we could see is that on the 15-minute time frame, we have the first blue bar of incoming cash, right? So the money flow is inbound right now, alongside momentum with an upside. Yeah, I think it's getting ready for an upside move here, team. And the 15-minute time frame, of course, just has to have enough juice here to feed into the 30. And then, oh yeah, actually look at the 30 with a bullish crossover upside of the SMA 14. So, and yeah, definitely getting some inbound cash as well, right? So what I'm looking at here is, I would say that the 15-minute time frame, if it pushes hard enough, it'll cascade into 30-minute, and then the 30-minute will likely cascade into the hourly, seeing that the hourly already has an upside pivot here, right? So immediate short-term resistance coming on, or suggesting here from the hourly time frame. So let's see what that could be. Okay, yeah, we may get a little bit of a pullback here, to the to the 39.95, just around 40 cents. And then I could see price action either pull back to the current area of 39, or actually it'll be more likely here at around 39.01 before a continuation to the upside, right? So I'm giving you the very immediate short-term zigzags that we could endure. So 4-hour time frame, let's take a look at that. Yeah, 4-hour time frame currently finding a bit of support from the SMA 14 on the RSI. That's looking pretty good. It is a bit bearish. It's kind of crossing beneath the SMA 14, but there could be a recovery here. Let's just see what the 6-hour and the 8-hour have to say about that. Okay, 6-hour and 8-hour. Okay, 6-hour seems to be already curving, and that could be displayed with the strength coming in from the 4-hour time frame into the cascading into the 6-hour. So yeah, team, I think this is the consolidation point that the asset will face before continuing to the upside here. It is finding the base. It is finding that critical support and the inflection point, which is I mean, honestly, if we're just looking back at this and removing the moving averages, then just please remember that this is actually the enormous conversion of the resistance from the ascending triangle into a support before that continuation to the upside, right? So yeah, we have to practice some patience here, but it looks like this would be the early entries right around here for a potential move to the upside. As you know, we actually started covering this ticker when we suggested a potential loading zone at around 36.94. So from here, it's looking pretty good. Now, I would encourage you to take a look at, or to take a listen at Avid's video, as he does have some critical fundamental perspective here that he, from his own DD, that I wish for my fundamental analysts to also give some, or shed some light on, or receive some light on, right? So then you could share with me. So as you know, that I'm primarily a statistical trader and a charts trader, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next time frame here, because I want to see how primed we are for a potential, right? Oh man, look at this. Yeah, 8-hour time frame upside pivot on stochastics. It's about to expand into the critical expansion zone. This downside pivot, this could be immediately recovered because of the 4-hour and the 6-hour, since we're noticing the upside already. 12-hour time frame also has, it also is showing a potential pullback here, but please remember that this is also already corrective towards the upside. Guys, this literally feels like we're catching it early, and this is a massive signal here, guys. This, I haven't done a back test on this. The only thing that I could say is that there could be that downside to reaccumulate. I know I gave you a target already, okay, but I keep an eye on this right here, 36.94 to 37.96. The reason why I think that we could suggest that is not only because of momentum, but because of a bearish engulfing candle structure here, right? So we can get this on the daily time frame, get the slight pullback, get the entry zone that we're looking for, which could be down here. My goodness. There we go. And then we could actually ride the upside on this asset. Okay, so it's looking massive, and then this is the other reason I was saying that this is a perfect setup. So daily time frame, volatility versus momentum. We're contracting from a critical expansion zone, but now that we came back to this extreme, we are now expanding yet again, which means that the signal has still fired off since it actually gave us the go ahead right at about here. So the signal fired off at 29.98, and it did an upside here. It came back down. It gave it a little breather, and it's now suggesting a continuation of that firing of the signal. But I mean, okay, check this out. We're in the bullish control zone here, right? With an upside pivot on Stokes, expanding volatility. The primary signal here to really take into consideration is the DMI, the directional movement index, which has the average directional index in there, right? So this dotted white line is the ADX. That is sitting at a massive 31.72%. Guys, that is big. DMI plus is on top. Whenever the ADX is sitting at a 25%, that's already suggesting a strong market trend to whoever is leading the way, DMI plus or DMI minus being bears or bulls. I imagine you know which one is which, right? All right, so right now, DMI plus, the bulls are leading the way with with an almost 32% ADX. Very strong. Very strong. And this is usually what I backtest for a potential upside here. So yeah, I do think that this is primed for a continuation to the upside, but please remember that we need a pullback first before we get up there. Okay, team. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.